The Academy of Many Worlds stood above the clouds. Towers pierced the sky like silver mountains, connected by bridges of light and floating platforms where students trained day and night. This was not an ordinary school. It was a place where engineers from dozens of civilizations came to master the art of solving impossible problems. Some students were crystalline beings who could calculate structural loads instantly. Others were amphibious energy readers who could feel power currents moving through circuits. Some had multiple arms for building machines faster than any human ever could. Among them stood Arin Vale, a human, no extra limbs, no internal processors, no alien senses, just curiosity and stubborn determination. Arin was not ranked high on the progress board. In fact, he was often near the bottom. But today he stood in front of the massive iron gates of a place most students avoided. The Garden of Trials. Entering the garden, the gates opened slowly. Inside, the environment shifted constantly. Floating platforms, collapsing structures, storms of energy. Puzzles that reconfigured every few seconds. A mechanical voice spoke. Garden trial initiated. Arin looked around. Well, this seems friendly. The first challenge appeared. A massive holographic bridge formed across a canyon. Sections began falling apart. Structural beams cracked. Support cables snapped. Arin ran to the control node. Okay, he muttered. Just a bridge. How hard could this be? The structure collapsed instantly. Failure. Bright, bold red. Arin stared at the empty canyon. Well, that was rude. The system reset. Bridge again. He tried reinforcing the center. Collapsed. Failure. Bright red flash. He sighed. Right. So brute force isn't the answer. He studied the design again. This time he redistributed the load, stabilized the support anchors. The bridge held. A message appeared. Challenge 1 completed. Arin blinked. Oh, he grinned. Okay, maybe I do belong here. Challenge 2, the broken power grid. The system announces out of nowhere. The next puzzle appeared immediately. A massive energy grid. Power nodes flickered erratically. Energy surged through unstable circuits. Arin stepped closer. Right. Electrical systems. What could possibly go wrong? He rerouted power through the first node. A surge exploded across the grid. Failure. Flash bright red again. Arin jumped back. Okay, apparently that. He scratched his head. Note to self, electricity bites. Second attempt. He slowed down. Instead of forcing energy through the system, he studied the flow patterns. Then he rerouted the current gently. The grid stabilized. Light spread across the network like a sunrise. Challenge 2 completed. Arin nodded. All right, Garden. I see what you're doing. Challenge 3. The gravity labyrinth begins. The environment shifted again. Now the platform twisted into a floating maze. Gravity changed direction every few seconds. Arin stepped forward, then suddenly fell sideways. He slammed into a wall. Okay, that one was personal. The maze rotated again. He floated briefly, then landed upside down. Fantastic! I'm being defeated by architecture. But slowly, he began to adapt. Instead of fighting gravity shifts, he used them. He jumped during a gravity reversal and let momentum carry him across a gap. Then another. Then another. Finally, he reached the exit node. Challenge 3 completed. Arin raised a fist. Yes, then paused. I definitely meant to do that. Above the garden, students watched from the observation deck. A crystalline Krillian student pulsed faintly. A human has completed 3 trials. A Mashari trainee recalculated. Probability of continued success increasing. A Valari student tilted their heads. He adapts quickly. The instructor watching the garden smiled quietly. Humans often started slow, but once they understood the pattern, they grew fast. The garden produced its most complex challenge yet, a system combining structures, energy flow, and gravity mechanics. Everything Arin had learned so far. Arin looked at the puzzle. He rubbed his face. Oh, you have got to be kidding me. The system began collapsing immediately. Timers flashed. Warnings appeared. But this time Arin didn't panic. He stabilized the bridge, balanced the power flow, used gravity shifts to reposition the structure. One final adjustment, the entire system locked into place. The garden fell silent. Then the message appeared. Garden trial progress recorded. Arin leaned back and exhaled. Well, that was mildly terrifying. When Arin stepped outside, the evening sun was setting behind the academy towers. The massive progress board updated automatically. A new name appeared near the bottom. Arin Vale Garden Trial Initiate. It wasn't high on the board. Thousands of names were still above him. Arin stared at the glowing board for a moment, then laughed quietly. Well, he folded his arms. Better than yesterday. He looked back toward the garden gates and finally understood what the trials were trying to teach him. Every failure had contained a lesson. Every mistake had revealed a path forward. Arin smiled. In every challenge, he said softly, you find the seeds of growth. Then he turned back toward the academy, because tomorrow, the garden would generate new challenges, and Arin would be ready. Outside the garden gates, the academy towers glowed under the evening sky. Students moved between training halls and observation decks. The massive progress board updated automatically. A new name appeared near the lower tiers. Arin Vale Garden Trial Initiate. It wasn't high, it wasn't impressive, but it was real. Arin looked up at the board for a moment. Thousands of names still stretched above him. He rubbed the back of his neck and let out a quiet laugh. Well, better than yesterday. He turned back toward the garden gates. Inside, the challenges were already shifting. New structures, new puzzles, new problems waiting. For the first time, that didn't feel overwhelming. It felt right. Arin smiled slightly. He stepped forward. Not because he had mastered the garden, but because now he understood it. If you're facing your own challenge right now, stay with it. There's more ahead.